It's Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerantz. Thank you for joining us again. Our guest is Juliet Huck. Juliet is a persuasive communications expert. I am glad you are joining us. What is persuasive communications?
Persuasive communications is when you need to have a project that needs a decision from someone else, say a vote, to move a project forward, a verdict for a case.
I used to be a lawyer.
There you go. So you know what I mean when you need to get a decision from someone else, and how we work with someone like yourself to become the most persuasive messenger.
Yeah, I mean, arguably, I am your target as a member of the media,
sure.
And I want to talk about the media and the current communications crisis that a company is in right now. We've heard of them, BP, not Brad Pomerantz, but British Petroleum.
Right.
I think it's fair to say, just objectively, that as communications matter, BP has bungled this Gulf oil crisis dramatically. What went wrong for them?
First, I think it was timing. I believe that they should have come out much earlier on facts and figures of things that were going on. I mean, we are up against a new technology, today. We've got a camera down there. I just saw yesterday it went high definition, so
right.
We can see every morsel coming out. So they're up against a different type of media right now that most these disasters have not been up against.
But that being said, you put together a chart, and we're showing it right now, that if BP had hired you,
sure.
you would have had them release something like this.
Within a day.
And so what does this describe, and why do you think this would have been effective for BP?
Well, I think what most people don't understand is that they're not just looking at, one particular state. What they wanted to do is to show out that they're going after thousands of businesses to give them help right off the bat. Long before PR campaigns, this is what we step in and do. Is we get that information out there in visual formats, because you also have bilingual,
sure.
language issues and things like that. But to start to show the positives right out of the box. So, and one of the best campaigns was the Tylenol campaign. Came right out of the box, immediately had empathy, and again, we work with what we call the equation of persuasion. You got to get information out that actually relates to the audience, and that's why this chart starts to show what state is starting to, benefit from their losses, and it shows them a little more empathetic.
I want to talk about President Obama. There are many who believe that he did not deal with this crisis effectively. What's your sense of that?
My sense is that he's about a half a step behind. I wouldn't say he's a full step behind.
BP's how many steps behind?
I'd say BP's about 40 days behind.
Okay, so yeah, they're not steps, they're days.
No, they're days. I believe that they do have to let the company come in and try and do the best they can. I do also believe that they need to step in at one point in time to let the local people understand.
It's interesting. There have been comparisons made in the media between Hurricane Katrina, and they are calling the BP oil disaster President Obama's Katrina. Just me as an observer, it seems to be pretty different. I mean, Katrina was a natural disaster,
right.
And the government really had no one to turn to. In this instance, there's BP to turn to fix it. So I'm not clear as to why President Obama has been tarred with this. As a communicator, why do you think he's
again, they don't, we don't want socialism, but then they're upset with the government when they don't step in to take care of things. So it's like we as a society have to decide which way do we really want it. And I think that is not fair to the Obama administration. I also think that he's trying to do what he can do. Everybody obviously knows he's upset about it, but he only has so much control. And again, it starts locally, it goes nationally, and then it goes global, and they need to do it the same way.
What can we do, just everyday people like you and me, to implement persuasive communications? Because I have to think it helps.
It helps everybody. And like I said, I've done a lot of court cases. I've helped a lot of corporations. And it's really, how do you empathize with the person you're talking to? That's a lot of it, is we lose empathy and compassion with people. And it's interesting how if I understand more about you, and that's how I teach my clients, is to sit down, stop, get out of your own skin for a second, and understand the person you're talking to.
Can I tell you, I interview a lot of people, and that could be the best advice I have heard in years.
Oh, good.
Empathy.
Good.
So true.
It's a big selling tool.
I'm so glad you joined us, Juliet. Stay in touch.
Thank you.
I'm Brad Pomerantz. Now we're going to send you back to HLN.